So, I've just been asked by Tina to talk about flow states, which has come as a complete surprise to me, so I'm going to give it a good shot and see what comes out. The thing that first comes to my mind is something that I picked up along the way, I think, from Gestalt therapy. It was a phrase that I often use with my clients, which is about getting out of your own way. How often I observe them and how often I observe myself hijacking my attempts at going in a direction I want to go, or my clients finding that fear of failure, fear of success, feeling of not being good enough, feeling of not deserving, impedes the natural abilities they have to actually get where they want to be in their life. And this whole idea of getting out of your own way, what is it about yourself that holds you back, is something that comes out in therapy all the time. In fact, in many ways, I think it's the key purpose of therapy, is to improve your relationship to yourself. One of the things that brought it to mind most was when I started reading around positive psychology, which is pretty much the study of wellness. How do you create the conditions for wellness and happiness in your life? And I came across a book called Finding Flow by a guy called Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi. And he talks about flow as being those moments, you know, if you're competent at something like a hobby or a sport, you have those moments where you're not really thinking about doing it, it just happens. It's almost as if you just, flow in the moment. And while it might not be effortless, it might actually be really effortful, there's no feeling of application of that effort, it just naturally occurs. And if only we could live our lives more naturally and flow more often. Imagine if in your job you were in a flow state for most of the time. There are ways of achieving that. There are ways that Project U coaches within our cognitive therapy network can teach you how to get into flow more often and then guide your life in that direction. Supposing you want to change jobs, supposing you want to go for promotion, supposing you want to be better at a sport, or better at your chosen career. Imagine if you were in flow at will and could use that flow to build that direction in your own way. How much different your experience of that would be. And that's perfectly possible in two phases really. One is to actually teach you what it takes to get into that flow. And the second is to remove any obstacles or barriers to you getting into it when you need to be. And within cognitive therapy, we've got a raft of techniques really which can address this whole relationship to self thing, to get rid of any impediment to what you want your life to be. So if you're interested in the whole idea, you can Google positive psychology, you can Google Finding Flow. You could Google Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi, but you would need to know how to spell that, and I'm not going to risk it on film. So put it into Amazon, Finding Flow. It's a very good book. Hope it makes you think.